today for some Yogalates. We've also got a warm-up inspired by Tai Chi and Qigong. Hopefully you'll enjoy. Let's start with our setup. Feet about hip distance apart, soften into the knees. Find that even balance between the ball of the foot and the heel. Lift and lengthen through the spine. Draw the shoulders up, back and down and in towards the spine. So engaging bandit, or if we're in Pilates, connecting into the core. So the zip that runs from pubic bone up to navel is done a third of the way up. The belt that runs around our midsection is done up to the third notch. So we've connected Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. So from here, we're going to take our feet nice and wide, wider than the shoulders. Allow the toes to turn out and soften into the knees and relax into the arms. Inhale. Exhale, just twist, bending the knees, so you're sinking into the legs and you're allowing the arms to relax. So there's a little bit of a winter theme to our practice today, the last time for winter, but we're starting to introduce elements of spring. So we're now just waking up the kidneys, the organs associated with winter. And if we want to engage more into the kidneys, we start to lift the toe and come through onto the heel. So we're coming through, pressing through onto the ball of the foot, coming into the kidney insertion point. Have a look behind. We've just got 2 more of these to each side. And then after the last one, we bring it to stillness. Maybe take the feet a little wider, so we're just making small adjustments if we need to. Sink into horse stance for our standing cow cat. Inhale. And then exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone under to arch the back. Inhale, lead with the chin, lift the chin into cow. So we're arching and then lifting. We're starting to bring some mobility into the spine. Again, was our central theme for winter. Moving the fluid around. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. We'll do 1 more each. Relax the head, neck and cat. Lift the chin and cow. Bring it back to a neutral position. Inhale. Exhale, drop your shoulder to the right so you can look up towards and over the shoulder. And then same on the other side. Coming up to that horse stance position. So it's a little half squat. We're starting to twist now. And twist is a feature of winter, but it's also a feature of spring. Pushing into the feet. We'll start to add on, if you want to, as we drop the shoulder, look up, just stretch into your left leg. Inhale, exhale. So we're starting to twist, we're starting now to get a little bit of a stretch down the kidney meridian, coming down through the inner thigh. We'll be using our inner thighs quite a bit towards the end of the session. 1 more to each side. And then lastly, just coming through the center, rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. So you can either zigzag your feet in or walk them in to about hip distance apart. From here, we're going to take left foot forward, right foot back. Sink back onto your back leg and lift the front toes. Take an inhale, float the arms up, and as we exhale, we're going to scoop the water. We're going to come down, we're going to scoop the water, and then as we lift up, coming onto that front foot, lifting the back heel, scooping the water overhead. So it's like we're scooping up that water. Water is the element for winter. And this will be our last winter focused practice. Of course, it's not strictly yoga on its own. We have got some Pilates as well. So starting off with some yoga. And then we're going to finish with Pilates. One more time to scoop the water. And then allow the arms to float down onto the hips and keep that front toe lifted. We're now going to do some crane's neck to mobilise the spine. So let's inhale. As we exhale, come forward with the chin and tuck the chin back in towards the neck. So we're now mobilising the cervical spine. And now take it down into thoracic. Direct your chin towards your chest area. Mobilising into thoracic spine. And now we're going to direct the chin down to navel. Lumbar spine. Opening our 3 doors. In traditional Chinese medicine, we have those 3 doors in the spine. And what we're doing is we're opening the doors and then closing the doors as we stand up. One in the back of the neck, one between the shoulder blades, and the other one down between the kidneys. One more time. Coming up, coming on that front foot, and just switching legs, relaxing the arms. Start with a scoop of water on this side. Inhale. Exhale. Come onto the front foot, lift the back heel. You scoop the water overhead. Relax the head and neck at the bottom of the movement. So imagine that water. If you want to feel invigorated, you can imagine it cold. If you want to feel relaxed, then imagine it warm. One more time. Float the arms down, lift the front foot, crane's neck. Inhale, exhale. Second time through. Feeling now the spine loosening, the fluid moving around, coming from the neck down into thoracic spine. There's also a connection between thoracic spine and diaphragm. So let's come to navel. Working through all 3 doors now. Moving the energy. Opening and closing the doors. 2 more. Remember to stop if anything feels uncomfortable. This is our last one. And then we release, relax off the arms, step to the side of the mat and turn to front. Let's set up in mountain pose, just as we did at the very beginning. Take an inhale, float the arms up palm to palm, look to the thumbs. Exhale into Uttanasana, forward fold. Push the tailbone back, lengthen the spine and then relax down. Inhale to half a lift, have a look up. And then exhale and release, bend the knees, come down onto the mat. Let's start in child's pose. Extend the arms out. Inhale, and then exhale, come up into moon flow. Tucking the chin. And this time we are going to come down, bending the elbows into chaturanga. Inhaling up to up dog. Exhale back to balasana, child's pose. Inhale, exhale, roll through. Try and focus on opening and closing the doors again. Exhale. 2 more of these, and then you have a choice. You can continue, or you can come up to the next level. Use the breath, so matching the length of breath to the movement. So last time back to child's pose. And then we're going to take an inhale, tuck the toes under, lift the tailbone and come up into your first downward facing dog. Now let's just spend a minute or 2 here. We want to extend the arms quite far in front, maybe more than normal. Now you can bend the knees as much as you need to. Remember, you don't have to come up into downward dog, you can stay with the moon flow. So check that you're still focusing on the breath, You're engaging Uddiyana Bandha, drawing the navel up to spine, and see what difference that makes to the position of your hips and tailbone. Extend the arms out a little further if you can. And then inhale, start to lift, come up onto the toes, roll through the spine and into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, up onto the toes, roll through to plank. Engage core for Uddiyana Bandha. Try and get that feeling of rolling through the spine, just like we did on our knees with the moon flow. So we're really starting to wake up the core now. We've got lots of space under the armpits when we move back into downward facing dog. 2 more. Take that deep inhale and match the movement to the breath. 1 more time. And then from here, we're just going to bend the knees, release the toes, push back to Balasana, child's pose. Inhale and come all the way forward, maybe roll through for one last time, into position for our start. So moving on to Pilates now. Arms are shoulder width apart, palms facing in, thumb on top, eye line is down, lengthen through the neck. Lengthen through the legs, bring your legs to about hip distance apart. Engage into core. Inhale. Exhale. Front arm lifts, back up, leg lifts, and we peel the breastbone off the mat, still looking down. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. So Pilates breathing patterns. We exhale and lift. We inhale on the low. This is our first level version of swimming. So if this is where you want to be today, continue with this for maybe up to 10 more on each side. Rest when you need to. Or on the next one, taking it up into position for swimming. Hold. And lift the other side. Inhale, exhale, small beats with the arms. Inhale, 5 beats. Exhale, 5 beats. Eye line is down. Shoulders are slid back and down in towards the spine. Core is engaged. Up to 100 beats. Maybe just 2 or 3 more breaths. And to finish, bring it to a point of stillness. Lower one leg, then the other. Then the arms, hands under shoulders. Inhale, push back to child's pose. Now we've done a little warm up for the triceps with the moon flow. So we're going to come into position for a tricep push-up. You can do a box. If you're going to do a box, knees under hips, hands under shoulders, lengthen, stabilize, connect the core, and you would inhale, you would drop the chest but keep the hips where they are, and then you would exhale and push up. So this would be your first level position. If you want to go more, then take the knees further back. So we're bringing more weight and pressure into the arms, so more strength, more engagement into the core. Tricep push-up. Inhale, keep the elbows in, lower towards the mat. Exhale and push up. So in this position, you're taking your hips down with you to keep the hips and the shoulders in alignment. Anytime you need to, you can go back to child's pose, take a breather, and join back in. But if you would like a little more, you've got a couple of choices. You can come up onto your toes and do a full tricep push-up. Or, after this one, we can bring in a little bit of pointer. So we're going to take the back arm and point it away as we come up. And then we're going to take the front arm. We're going to point it away as we come up. So we're taking ourselves from 4 points of stability to 3, And try and keep your shoulders aligned. Try and keep the weight between both legs. You're going to push into both hands as you come up and then release one. 2 more on each side. This is really going to strengthen the back of the upper arm and also the shoulder. So this is our last one. And then release. Give yourself a little stretch in child's pose. And then bring yourself onto your side. So lengthen out. Body in alignment. Straight line. Head supported. Space under the chin. Hand somewhere in front or on the top leg. We're setting up for bicycle. So inhale. Check the core is connected. And then as you exhale, float the top leg up to about hip height. You can stay here, or you can inhale. Exhale, float the bottom leg up. You can stay here up to 10 breaths. Or we do bicycle. Inhale. Exhale, bend the top leg, and as if you're cycling. So it's a cycling movement. Leg bends as it comes through, and then as it goes back, it straightens. So you can bring your leg beyond the central line on the way back, if that doesn't cause you to destabilize. So up to 10 of these. So find that circular movement through the hip. Find the stability in the hips. So the hips stay stacked directly on top of each other. There's no movement in the hip, only in the leg. One more. I might have lost count. I normally do, as you know. And then bring the legs back in a neutral position, lower one, then the other. Push up, come onto that elbow. Elbow directly under shoulder, hand in line with the elbow. Legs straight out. I'm just going to come forward a little bit to give myself enough room to bend that front leg. So check the legs are still in alignment. Push into your forearm. Lift up. Float the top arm up. Inhale. Exhale, reach under for thread needle. Inhale, open up, reach the fingertips to the ceiling. Now I'm going to give you a choice. And this is bringing in a little bit of spring element. You can reach under, and then we can open up and look behind. Maybe to your fingertips, or maybe to something behind. So the organs for spring, liver and gallbladder. So this is going to open up. Not so much on the left side, but more on the right side for the organ itself, but the meridians, they run down both sides of the body. So we'll do 2 more. And then release. Come up onto the other side on the way. Release through the shoulder if you need to. And then set yourself up for the bicycle or the static side kick. Length, stability, alignment, engagement into the core. Inhale, exhale, float the top leg up. And then inhale, exhale. Doesn't have to lift that bottom leg, it can stay where it is, or we lift it up. Balance yourself, stabilize if you need to. Inhale, exhale into bicycle. So find a little bit of mobility around the hip, which is always good. Strengthen to the hip and into the leg. And also that bottom leg is just not relaxed or doing nothing. We're holding that leg up with the core, muscles in the waist, and also the inner thigh engaging to maintain the position of that bottom leg. And as you cycle through with the top leg, Try and keep the height of the leg, so we're not dropping the knee, especially as we bring it through. The temptation might be not to focus on that position of the knee, but keep the knee in alignment with the spine. So the knee comes through in alignment with the, not with the spine, the hip. That might be a different position. And let's do 2 more. You should maybe be starting to feel this now around the outside of that hip. Or it might just be me. And then lastly, neutral position, bottom leg down, top leg down, push up. Set yourself up for the side plank with thread needle and extension. Inhale, exhale and lift. Inhale, exhale, reach under. Start with just an easy one to begin with, and then see how your body feels on this side. If you're mirroring me, then this will be your right side. So focus on the liver. So you're squeezing it and then releasing it. They love that. Little massage for our liver. Looking behind, or just looking to the fingertips. Moving through the spine with fluidity, but also importantly, with control. We'll do 1 more after this one. And then release. Allow the hip to land, push up, roll through the shoulder, come onto your back. Set up for some upper abdominal work. Bring the feet about hip distance apart, knees in line with feet, spine lengthened, stability in the shoulders. Set your pelvis in either a neutral position flat or imprinted, slightly tilted. Float your fingertips to your temples or support your head. Inhale. And as you exhale, really focus on the core. So zip the third of the way up, belt to the third notch. And then inhale again. And as we exhale, an abdominal crunch, peeling the head and shoulders off the mat. Looking towards the knees and between the knees. Hips are absolutely still, pointing to the ceiling. Knees are still, engaging into hip flexors. Space under the chin. 2 more, and on the second one, we're going to hold it up. We're going to hold. Support the head with your back hand. Release your front hand. So the fingers point down towards the ankle, palm is facing up. Inhale. Exhale and just reach towards the ankle and release back. Exhale, reach. Still look between the knees, keeping that neck in a neutral position. So we're working into the waist on this front side. Draw the bottom rib down towards the hip. 2 more, and then on the second one again, we're going to hold. And then we're going to pulse for 10. Small pulses. We've got 5 left. Last one. And then release. Release the arms down by our side. We're just going to go for a little bit of an active recovery with some shoulder bridges. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, peel off the mat. Come up onto the shoulder blades if you can. Inhale. Exhale and roll back down vertebrae by vertebrae. So we just want to give the neck and the shoulders and the upper abdominals a little bit of a chance to recover so that we don't lose any quality when we go to the other side. So we're just going to do 2 more of these. But this is also going to be preparing us for our next exercise, after we do the other side, that is. And so for the last one, release it all the way down. Float the fingertips. Starting off the abdominal crunch. Inhale. Exhale. Peel the head and shoulders off the mat. Look into the knees again. Just a couple more. And then on the next one, we're going to hold it up. We're going to support the head. We're going to release the hand through. We're going to inhale and exhale. Keeping the other elbow wide so the shoulder stays open, the chest stays open. And we're working again into the waist. So let's bring our focus to the bottom rib, down towards the hip. And then neutral back in the center. So we're back in that neutral position. So make sure you do come all the way back to the center. 2 more, and on the second one, we're going to hold it. We're going to pulse 10 times. Remember to stop if you need to. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Release and lower. Now for the exercise we were preparing for with the shoulder bridge. It's a variation on the shoulder bridge. So we're going to bring the feet, the knees together and the thighs. So we'll be activating inner thigh a little bit more as we press the legs in together. We're also giving ourselves a narrow base of support. So it's going to challenge the core a little bit more. So when you're if this doesn't feel right, of course, remember to go back to what we did before. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, peel off. Inhale, exhale and roll back down. So maybe start to notice if it feels different. I think it does. But we've still got that same quality of movement, that mobility into the spine. A space under the chin. Push up into the heels, so we're bringing in hamstrings and glutes. Squeeze your thighs together, so the inner thigh doesn't just switch off. There is a variation on this where you could use a prop like a yoga block or a rolled up towel or a small cushion between your knees, and that would give you the extra challenge if you wanted it. So let's hold the last one up and go for those 10 pulses. A small squeeze through the thighs. 10. Just make sure it's not cramping up, so release between each squeeze. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. And then roll down. Carefully take one knee in towards the chest, then the other. So we're now getting a release, maybe into the glutes, maybe into the inner thigh. You take your knees nice and wide. And then for our last exercise, bring the legs down, set yourself up in our original supine position. And then inhale, exhale, float one leg up to tabletop. Inhale, exhale, float the other leg up to tabletop. Bring the legs together. Float the arms behind the head if that's comfortable and link the thumbs. Drop the shoulders back down, away from the ears. Inhale, extend the legs out. And then exhale, take the knees wide and reach to the toes. So we've got our Pilates seal. And hopefully you feel as you widen the knees and release into the inner thigh. That was the plan anyway. But don't forget that we can create some tension in the thigh as we extend the legs away. So it hasn't completely been given a rest. It's just getting a chance to recover. And we're working back into the upper abdominals again. And you can take your legs as high as you need to. The higher they are, the easier it's going to be on the core. You could take them a little lower if that feels good, without any doming through the lower abdominals. You don't want those muscles to feel like they need to join in. So we keep the tummy flat. 2 more times. And on the next one, if you want to hold it up for the 10 pulses, then we just hold and pulse. Reach into the toes for 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Release. Lower the arms. Bring the legs back to tabletop. One down, then the other. Let's take a full body stretch. Fingertips through to the toes. Relax, release, and then bring the arms down by your side. Bend the knees. We're going to do some supine twists now. So your arms can be by your side, or if you've got room, take them out to the sides. Level with the shoulders. Check you've still got the core engaged. Inhale. Exhale, take the knees to front and look towards the back hand. Inhale, exhale, and do the same on the other side. Keep your shoulder blades in contact with the mat, so they act as an anchor for the spine. Try and find a stretch and a release down through the spine and around the hips. And if you feel that you want to stay on one side a little longer than the other, then that's absolutely fine. We're going to do 1 more of these to each side. And then release through center. I'm going to take the front knee in towards the chest and then inhale. Exhale, bring the nose towards the knee, so we're stretching out the spine. And then inhale and exhale, extend that leg. You can hold on above or below the knee. Hamstring stretch. See if you can lower down and maintain that stretch. And once you get comfortable here, inhale. Exhale. As you exhale, maybe try and bring the leg a little closer with a soft knee. Maybe see if you can reach a little higher without lifting the head and shoulders and without lifting the tailbone. Gentle persuasion. On the next inhale, we're going to release, we're going to place the foot on the thigh. Gentle pressure on the inside of the knee, just release that hip. And then release, inhale, left foot, reach through, take hold of the back of the thigh. So we're now in our lying pigeon or hip thread needle stretch. And if you want a little bit more around the hip especially, bring your foot in line with the knee so we've got more of a 90-degree angle at the knee, and hopefully you can feel a deeper stretch around the hip. Just take 1 breath, and on the next inhale, we carefully release. We place that foot down. We bring that knee in towards the chest, and then inhale and exhale, and nose towards the knee. Inhale, extend that leg. Just make sure that your hands aren't directly behind the knee. Feel the stretch into the hamstring. Inhale and lower down. And relax the leg. Again, you want to hold on where it's comfortable. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, feel how that muscle relaxes. Without force, just allow it to happen. Tailbone in contact with the mat. On the next inhale, we release. Place the foot on the thigh, give the hip a little release, and then inhale, lift. Lying pigeon, 90-degree angle, or if it's more comfortable for you, just allow that leg to relax. But by lifting that foot, we're pushing this in towards us slightly, just enough to stretch out the hip. Just one more breath. On the next inhale, release. Hug the knees in towards the chest. We're going to take an inhale to come up, an exhale to come up, or you can come up in your own way. So I'm going to inhale and then exhale and roll up. Turning to front, we're going to stretch the inner thigh now into Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. So bring the feet together. Maybe use your hands at the back to push your hips further towards your heels, and then lift tall. So you can either hook your hands under the bottom of the feet or just hold on to either side of the foot, whatever feels right for you. Try and open out into the hip as far as into the hip to open the knees as far as feels comfortable. And then let's take an inhale. And an exhale as we try and tip from the hip, coming forward a little more. And see if it has any effect on the position of the knees. Now you can slide your hands up a little higher, maybe even around the ankles. And then take an inhale. And as we exhale, you're using your elbows now to push the knees out a little wider. But please be careful here, because if we overstretch, then the muscles really won't like that at all, and you will feel the point where you've gone as far as you need to go. But we'll use the breath just for one more inhale. Exhale, so a length into the spine. It's a tip from the lumbar spine, as if someone's pushing you forward. And then carefully release, inhaling. And let's just take a little stretch now for the mid to upper back. So we'll hook our hands around the feet. We'll inhale. And as we exhale, tuck the chin and start to roll down. So you're aiming your forehead down towards your toes. So rounding through the back now, relaxing the shoulders. Allow the head and neck to relax. Enjoy that stretch from the mid to upper back. One breath. And on the next inhale, we're going to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Now you can either stay here in this position or you can cross your legs. Get yourself comfortable around the hips. Let's just take a stretch for the triceps. We'll float one arm up. Now you can either pull or push. Inhale. Exhale, so you can get a really nice stretch for the triceps. We did do quite a bit of work there today. Inhale to release and exhale and switch. Inhale, exhale. Inhale to release. Take the arms behind. Clasp the fingers or place your hands at the bottom of your back. Inhale. Exhale and open up through the chest and through the front of the shoulders. And then carefully release. Well, thank you again for your effort and your energy and for joining me today. I do appreciate your time. And if you do get a chance to join me next time, we will be doing our spring practice, a yoga spring practice. The focus on spring is optimism and positivity, and that's really, I think, what we need in our lives right now.